Well, well, we are entering spring, and all of us had resolution, right? Remember the new year? We said, oh, we want to lose that extra 5 pounds, 10 pounds. That happens to all of us, right? I mean, I know it happens to me every year, and then boom, I'm back again like a yo yo. Well, you guessed the topic. The topic is weight management, right? We are not talking about weight loss, but we are saying easy way for weight management rather than going like a yo-yo. We do that all the time, all of us. So we have a dietitian. She's a registered dietitian, and she's a naturopath, Dr. Ankita Ghag, and we'll be talking about easy ways for managing our weight. So just hang on for 1 second while I add her, just for 1 second. Thank you. And I will be just all right. So bring on your questions, and if you are having problems with maintaining your weight, what do you do? Do you go through eating disorders? All those things. Hi there. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Good, good, good. So I was just telling the viewers, we are entering March, and I know in New Year's everyone wants to say, "Oh, I'm going to lose 5 pounds now, or 10 pounds, or whatever," and then
That's true.
comes there, and that if something happens, then we are back again, right? So we want to talk about easy ways for managing your weight. That is the topic, and we have Dr. Ankita Ghag. She is a naturopath, a registered dietitian. Anything else you'd like to add, Ankita?
Registered dietitian, neuro-linguistic program trainer as well.
Oh wow, what is that? Which trainer?
A neuro-linguistic. So it is training of your mind to your daily activities and how to make it as a daily habit. So at times people find it very difficult to cut their habits or something. But with the help of NLP, it is very easy for others to join in and to do the things which they are thinking that no, I cannot get rid of my anxiety, or probably I'm allergic, I'm going to be allergic for my lifetime. So with the help of the NLP therapy which has been given to them, it becomes very easy for them to overcome it.
Wow, that's amazing. I think all of us need this therapy.
Yes.
Jokes apart, but we all have to train our mind regular basis to do what we
Yes.
want to do, whether we're eating or losing weight. Okay, let's just talk about the management of weight from your perspective.
So weight management becomes a crucial part because losing weight or gaining weight, both
Yeah.
are easy. But the
Yeah.
most difficult part out here is to manage that weight, or probably get yourself into that particular plateau wherein you can manage your weight rather than lowering or gaining it. So easiest way to do is follow the 80-20 ratio. 80% of your diet, 20% of exercise will give you the easiest result and probably hardcore results. So when I say talk about easy way, I agree following the diet or doing the exercise every now and then becomes very difficult. So do small techniques which are available and which will help you to manage your weight very easily. It is as simple as have your meal before 7 p.m. or else probably have proper adequate 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So that will help you to balance your body weight and your body fat, and it will also prevent you from having various kind of metabolic disorders. So that's where it is going to be useful and the easy way. This is the easiest hack one can do. And one
Okay,
more
so
easy thing is yes.
someone is asking a question about craving of junk food, which all of us have.
Yes. So we can probably tighter the junk food. So what I usually tell my patients is, in India, people are very much fond of eating chaat items. That is their pani
Yes.
puri, ragda puri, or
Yes.
probably dal pakwan. So what I suggest them, have a protein base, that is their dal, or probably their sprout base. And instead of adding the excessive carbs, that is in the form of potato, the starch and everything, or it's too much oily stuff inside it, add wheat flakes to it with the bran. So what you are doing is you are giving the fiber also to the person. At the very same time, you are balancing the meal with protein, and it becomes a balanced meal. Or else someone wants to have a Frankie, so instead of a maida base, the flatbread which they're using, instead of that base, then can go for the whole wheat or multigrain base. So that becomes very much useful. So if someone wants to eat khichdi or something like which is based out of sagu, so it can be replaced by quinoa or couscous, which will be again become a healthier option for them. So that way it becomes easy to replace the switch the unhealthy options with the healthier one. We all are fond of cakes, and cake is one of the biggest junk food which I see day in day out. So these days there are the healthy cakes which are available. So instead of maida base, they make it sugar free. They make it with ragi. Then there is less amount of sugar also at times. Probably dark chocolate is again one thing which one can replace in terms of the whole milk chocolate. So that's how it gives the flavor also. Again, the portion control. The easiest way which we spoke is the portion control. For example, if you are out for a party and someone is like, I want to eat pizza, I cannot stop the person. You are in party common, they will throw me out if I don't allow them. So probably have eat a mindful eating, like probably a thin crust pizza with more amount of vegetables and less amount of processed cheese. So that way they can eat it. It's not like they cannot. And again, instead of eating 4 5 slices, have 1 or 2 slices. So that will again satisfy your taste buds, but it will also help you to manage your weight. So
Yeah.
that way it becomes very easier for weight management.
All right, so let's just, so I know, so you talked about like eating before 7, right? Something like
Yes.
that. And then getting, and so now the breakfast would be what, like there's intermittent fasting that would automatically happen to what you're saying, right? If I eat
Uh,
at 7 o'clock and then in the morning I eat, I have my breakfast at 9. So there's already a 14-hour window where nothing has gone
yes.
in my stomach, and that's intermittent fasting, to your point, right?
Not entirely intermittent because it is slightly different. Before 7 p.m., the only reason why I say this is our BMR is quite high in the morning. Then,
Mm-hmm.
as the day drops down, the BMR also decreases. So,
Yeah.
when your BMR is on the lowest, it's advisable not to give your body so much. So as it is said, have a breakfast like a king and a dinner
Yeah.
like a pauper. So in
Mm-hmm.
that context, is being suggested that no, don't do this.
Okay.
And
Okay.
again, if the
All right.
person is a diabetic and on insulin, then there are exceptions. The things can be titled for them.
Mm-hmm. So someone asking a question about intermittent fasting, does that work in your opinion? What
For
what is
certain
your
people, it does, but if the
Mhm.
person is having certain issues with their serum insulin levels, or probably they are having a lipid issues, so if they are doing an intermittent fasting, see to it you are following a proper balanced diet rather than just eating whatever you want to. If the
Mhm.
person is diabetic, I would strictly say no, because we cannot play with their body. It becomes
Yeah.
very difficult and risky to just to try and experiment on our bodies. So I wouldn't go for it.
Okay, okay. So now I know people. All right. So I know there are questions coming. So okay, there's so many diets, right?
Yes.
Keto diet, for example. There's
Yes.
so many. So what are your thoughts on some of the diet programs? I don't want to particularly choose one versus the other, but
Okay.
is it like a Mediterranean diet? That is like a healthy diet.
Mediterranean diet, which is going, diet is going, keto diet. People these days they have come up in the trend. But if you talk about this fat diets, then I wouldn't be for it. Mediterranean
Yes.
diet to some extent, yes, but in India it becomes very difficult because the temperature out here, or probably the food habits out here are way too different. So
Yes.
certain people it becomes very much cost effective. For certain people it tighter their taste buds because not everyone like the taste of that olive in
Mm-hmm.
Mediterranean. So that
Yes.
again becomes a task for them. Or paleo diet, too much of raw ingredients. So again, if it is not done up to the mark, they end up getting some or the other comorbidity, or probably if the vegetables are not clean enough, they can end up getting gastroenteritis and they can land up in the hospital. So it becomes difficult at times for people talking about the keto, which is trending these days. So if we go back to the history of keto, it was ideally given for the epileptic individuals. People later
Oh,
thought
really?
that it will,
Okay.
oh yes, so it is specifically designed for epilepsis. So what happened
Mm-hmm.
is, following the keto for prolonged period became difficult for children also, because those were
Yeah.
the target
Yeah.
audience of epilepsy. So what happened
Mm-hmm.
was, it was then probably tightened a bit and new modified Atkins diet came into a consideration. So
Yes.
nowadays when people talk about keto diet, they are actually doing modified Atkins diet,
I
wherein
see.
they are having bit amount of carbs, a bit amount of proteins and higher amount of fat. So the
Yeah.
ratio, which was ideally 80-10-10, has gone up to 60-40, that is 60-20-20. So
I
60% of being a fat, 20% protein, 20% fat. Sorry, carbohydrates. So that
got
is
it.
how it has modified these days. But again, if someone is following keto diet, I have seen some of my patients, they have developed dyslipidemias because of keto diets. So I wouldn't go for that. Again, there was cabbage soup diet, there is GM diet. This comes with lot of warnings because people
Yes.
become deficient to their nutrients for the longer run. I
Yes.
saw someone who did GM diet, like probably in 2 months, the person did it 3 times. At the end of the third time, the person ended up having multivitamin and nutrient deficiencies.
Yeah.
Again, there is a grapefruit diet. First and foremostly, that fruit is very expensive. Availability is very less. It's available in specific season. And once they are eating only grapefruit, then again it
Yes.
becomes very difficult for them because other nutrients are not going in. So
Correct. Correct.
that is something where people are, they feel their weight is going down, but at the end they are actually harming their own body. They are decreasing their body muscles. They are increasing their body water. They can go into edema, or probably there is lots of water retention in them. So such kind of diet, I would say no. If you want to do weight management, or probably follow certain kind of a diet for a short period, because people who have their engagement or wedding end up going to such kind of fat diets, we can call it. But if you
Yeah.
know that is lined up, so please meet a qualified person and get yourself properly checked and then take a diet. Otherwise it becomes very difficult to have when you get any kind of what we can say comorbidities or issues coming in because of this diet. One of my friend,
Okay.
he was on the fruit juice diet. He
Oh
was
my God.
just on a fruit juice for 6 months, and when he started ingesting food, it was severe regurgitation. The person had GERD, that is, he was like regurgitating, and so much of acidity. Person was admitted for 3 months, and that's how he lost more 10 kgs. So, not to
Oh my
follow
God.
something which will lead you in the hospital for prolonged period. In fact,
Correct.
other day
Correct.
I also read an article. Female, one actress, she was on a keto diet by someone. Her body couldn't accept so much of things, and she died because of excessive protein inside her body,
Oh, oh
because the
really?
body was unable to do that.
Oh
So
my
high
God.
protein diets without
Yeah.
someone's guidance, or probably any kind of diet just because you read it on internet, don't
Yeah.
do it. Just focus and meet someone and take a guidance before following it. That is one thing which I would suggest.
No, no, I think that's great. So I think let's just talk about a healthy plate, right? Uh,
Yes.
like a balanced diet. So that's what I think all
Yes.
of us should focus on, rather than okay, we read something, and we like
Agreed. Agreed.
all of us go around that, and then we start experimenting on our bodies, which do not do that, right? That's what Dr.
Yes.
Ankita is talking about. So,
So
but let's talk about a healthy plate. A healthy plate, what it should have.
healthy plate, ideally if this is my plate, I'll divide it into half will be
Okay.
fruits and vegetables. That will be half side will be vegetable, that is your salads, or it can be your vegetables which you eat along with your flatbread or something. The other
Mm-hmm.
half, this half will be protein, and this half will
Okay.
be your carbohydrate, and one more thing will be your dairy, that can
Mm-hmm.
come in protein, and other thing will be your water. So that's how
I,
your balanced diet should be, because these days people are ignoring water. When we talk
yes.
about balanced meal, water is also essential component. People are
Yes.
going into the, like dehydration. So to
Mm-hmm.
avoid that, water should be there in your healthy meal. So this is what I would suggest for a ideal balanced meal.
So one question I have, what about healthy fats, right? Avocado or some of the things we are
Yes,
talking
they
about.
can take that.
Yeah,
So
that's
we
okay.
have something known as invisible fat and some are visible fat. So
Yeah.
when I plan the diet for someone, so that's when I tell them that no, you need to take 3 teaspoons in a day. That's not because I am restricting their fat. There is already invisible fat present in your food, be it your
Yes.
walnuts, avocado, of course, and
Hmm.
certain things. Yes, it is very rich with your omega 3, omega 6 fatty acid. Balance between mufas and pufas are there. So yes, it is advisable. It is good for your heart as well. So one can consume that, but again, there is a limit to it. You cannot just sit and eat 5 avocados at one time. Like probably
That's right.
one or half avocado can go at
Yeah.
one go, but not too much in the one end.
Okay. So, okay, so let's talk about calorie intake. Do you believe in these calories in, out? You know, a lot of us, we have all these gizmos and all these apps, and then when I eat,
I
check
prefer
today.
micronutrient intake these days. So
Okay.
initially I was focusing on calorie, but as and when I started practicing, I found if I balance their micronutrients, that will play a major impact, because internal healing is something which we don't focus on. If we heal the person internally, that's where I see a good results, be it their weight, be it their muscle and fat content. It is really helping my patients. So they
So
are getting better.
micronutrients,
So
how much micro, is there a kind of a
meeting their
measurement?
RDAs,
I
meeting
see.
their recommended dietary allowances is what I look for when I talk about giving their micronutrients.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
So the recommendation would be breakfast at a certain time in the morning, and then I mean, do you recommend 3 meals, or do you recommend in small meals in between?
So
What is
I
the
suggest
recommendation?
small and frequent meals. I don't
I
suggest
see.
have only 3 meals, because there are certain people who visit me. They have like habit, like they will eat every now and then. So
Like
for
me.
such people, even me also, for such people, it becomes very difficult that if I tell them no, you will eat only 3 meals, they will
Yeah.
simply say no, I don't want to follow you. Why should I? I cannot stop. I'm a foodie. So in such cases, probably I give them small and frequent meals. I work on the
Okay.
portion controls, and when there is a snacking time, I see to it the snacks are having some amount of protein in it. So
Yeah.
protein will provide the satiety along with the fiber. So satiety is given. It will prevent from gaining that extra tires around the waist. So this is one thing which I suggest them.
Okay. So someone is asking about what can you tell us about microgreens?
Microgreens, in microgreens, what I suggest my patients mostly is wheat grass, because most of the it is very rich in micronutrients.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you see the structure of your blood and the
Mm-hmm.
structure of a wheat grass,
Mm-hmm.
if we replace iron with magnesium,
Mm-hmm.
that is the exact same to same structure of your blood. So
Mm-hmm.
wheatgrass and this one, your blood,
Mm-hmm.
remove iron from here and remove, and here it is magnesium. So same structure, only one nutrient is replaced here and there. So it is very good for your anemia. Wheatgrass is also a, what we can say, a wonder green,
Mm-hmm.
because it will help you in various healing properties. It has got good RO factor in it. Also at the very same time, along with that, I will also suggest a moringa.
Mm. Moringa.
So,
Okay.
yeah, Moringa is also a thing, and it is found in abundance. Probably it is
Yeah.
again very high with a radical activity, and it is also having a great effects on your body.
Yes.
So, I would
Yes.
suggest that the microgreens are essential. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing. Also, I could see someone is asking me to address their question. If you
I
can
know. I
help
don't know
me.
what the question is. I'm just trying to understand what the
1 minute, 1 minute. We'll check the
what
question.
what did we miss? I don't. So that's what I'm trying
We
to
missed
address as
about
I see.
apple cider vinegar, and okay, how to increase stamina and endurance. Do you accomplish endurance? Okay, so if you want to improve your stamina and endurance to accomplish the task on day-to-day basis through dietary changes, all you need to do is small and frequent meals. See to it your meals are spaced out properly, and you are having the meals on the specific timings.
Mm-hmm.
Also, at times the letharginess is present because of dehydration. So have adequate amount of water, or probably
Yeah.
the fluids, and at such time electrolytes play a major role. So if you are
Yes.
having letharginess because your job is like walking a lot, or probably you're talking a lot, or not a sedentary lifestyle, then probably I would recommend like you can have a coconut water in between as a mid morning kind of a thing, or
Yeah.
probably lemon water with bit amount of salt inside it, so that will
Mm-hmm.
replenish your electrolytes, and it will give you that what we say instant energy to you,
Mm-hmm.
and endurance and stamina if you want to increase. So probably along with exercise you need to take proper nutrient, like pre-workouts and
Yeah.
post-workouts is something which will help you, which will release the energy slowly, which will help you to build up that stamina and maintain your endurance. Also have the food which will help you to reduce your body fat, such as chia seeds or flax seeds, like omega 3, omega 6 fatty acids, or probably fish oil capsules, which will
Yeah.
help you for that specific things. Once you reduce your body fat, the endurance will automatically go on a higher side. So
No, I
that,
think that helps. That helps. So,
yes,
guys,
exactly.
this is a short session. This is not a medical advice. I do want to put a big disclaimer. We are coming up with wellness programs. You know, you have to consult. If you want to start doing all these things, you should consult an expert. And you know, we'll be offering a program from Dr. Ankita Ghag, you know, pretty soon. But right now, she can only answer high level questions. Don't treat it as medical advice. I need to say that, Ankita.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
All right. There's another question. Maybe one more question, and then we have to call it off, guys. Okay.
yeah.
All
Okay.
right. What was the question? I'm sorry, I didn't even read it because I was trying to tell everyone.
Okay, so the question I could read for, does apple cider vinegar helps for the weight management and the diet for COVID? So apple cider vinegar, what happens is apple cider vinegar works as an insulin sensitizer. So for certain people, because of their body fat, their insulin has become resistant. So to activate that insulin again, you need to have that apple cider vinegar or
Yeah.
probably your lemon juice in your diet to
Yeah.
activate those things, and that's how your metabolism is also increasing slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how your apple cider vinegar will help. And talking about diet and fighting COVID is, first and foremostly, you need to build up your immunity, cut
Yes.
down the carbs, because when you eat more amount of carbohydrates, when we say fat is the enemy, it's not actually the fat which is the enemy. It's your excessive carbohydrates and sugars which you are taking, which is not being utilized by your body and getting converted into fat. So
Yeah.
that is your enemy. So have a portion control over it. Have a small adjuncts, like we are blessed with curcumin, that is our turmeric in our diets.
Correct.
We have ginger, which is anti-inflammatory, which will again help you to enhance your immunity. Foods rich with vitamin C, amla. We have guava, which is very much rich with vitamin C, can be useful for boosting your immunity during the COVID phases.
No,
So,
I
and we are blessed with the spices these days. So,
yeah.
that is something is going to help you. Like sticking back to the roots is what I would suggest out here.
No, I think in Indian food there are so many spices that we use on a
Yes.
daily basis, right?
Yes.
Ginger, turmeric, right? So many spices
Garlic.
that are so helpful. Garlic,
Yes.
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 These are everyday spices and in Indian cooking, and they're so good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is something which has been helpful.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add, or any question? We can take one more question if someone has a question.
Probably I don't believe anyone has a question right now.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. You answered all the questions. All right. So to summarize, what would be what would you tell the viewers here?
for weight management, please stick to your portion control. Follow the basic hacks. Do a portion control. Have adequate water throughout the day. Like, keep yourself hydrated. Adequate amount of sleep, that is 6 to 8 hours of sleep, is essential. Have certain food which is very much beneficial to your body, and they're anti-inflammatory in nature, so that will prevent from excessive weight which is appearing, which is actually your water weight. So it
Yeah.
will prevent that. Consult a proper qualified person for getting it before getting yourself into any kind of a fat diet, because that is something you're risking your own life. So don't do
Yes.
that. Just a basic 5 step and 80-20 ratio is a mandate. Like, do your diet and exercise together. Only one thing is never going to help you. If you are snacking, see to it you're snacking something which is very much rich in proteins, and it also has some amount of fiber, so it will prevent you from overeating. So these are the 7 tips which I would give to everyone, and that will help them. So this is
Great,
all
great.
I
And
could
live your
say as a
life. Live
takeaway.
your life. Don't starve
Live your life,
yourself.
and if you want to eat whatever you want to, please eat it. But if you want to eat a high calorie cake, don't eat the entire piece. Probably split it into half and have probably 3 spoons, but enjoy it. So all your taste buds should get that feeling, know you had it. But
Yeah.
see to it, you are not overeating it. Just a 1-2 bites is fine. There is no harm in eating that much. But again, you need to compensate later. That is a mandate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ankita, for being with us. To all the
Yes.
viewers, so all the engagement, all the questions, thank you so much.
Thank you
And
so
keep
much.
the questions coming. We don't want the questions to stop. We just want to be careful that you don't take exact like this as a medical advice. These are just general guidelines. I just want you
Yes.
to everyone to be aware of that. That's all. Okay, any comments, anything, you're welcome to send us DM, and any particular topic that you like to see, let us know. And with that, like to thank you again and wrap up this session. Have a
Yep.
great weekend, everyone.
Yep.
With
You
one
too.
more
Bye
time,
bye. Take care.
namaste.
Yep.
Yes, thank you. Bye bye.
Welcome. Bye bye.